मार्केट्स का अच्छा है यार, वो फीडबैक बहुत जल्दी दे देते हैं. मतलब यू जस्ट नो कि यू आर डूइंग द राइट थिंग एंड देयर आर वेरी फ्यू एक्सटर्नल कंटिजेंसीज, राइट. कोई क्लाइंट नहीं है, कोई सेल्स नहीं चाहिए. सो यू हैव अ मशीन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, मार्केट चल रही है, सबके लिए सेम है. इफ यू हैव एन एज तो इट्स काइंड ऑफ very quick and easy to find out that it works or not.
And what would you say is your edge?
सब कुछ थोड़ी बताएंगे. Even my mom has asked me many times कि यार ये क्या कर रहे हो, is this सट्टा ही है क्या, ये gambling ही है क्या. So I think it's again in trading, I always say even a monkey can make money, but it takes a lot of discipline to actually save that money and survive the storm.
What is the biggest investment you have made for yourself in so many years and which bring you over here as a successful man?
I got married to the right girl.
Welcome guys to Conversations Cafe. We are in Dubai. Conversations Cafe is a show that brings ordinary Indians to you who've done extraordinary work. They are people just like you and me. They just strive for more. They worked harder. And most importantly, they made the right career choices. The one question that we ask everybody at All 25 Inside IM is this: do you invest in yourself enough?
Nobody ever got a vibe that Lehman will not open up on Monday. संडे को वो न्यूज़ आई है, मंडे को हम काम पे गए हैं एंड इट वाज मस्ट हैव हैपेंड फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन द कॉर्पोरेट हिस्ट्री कि मैं तो अपने बॉस को ही सीवी दे रहा था. मैं कहा सर ये ठीक लग रहा है. ओवर टाइम आई वेंट टू लॉट ऑफ इंटरव्यूज. आई थिंक again the bosses were very helpful. They were putting in a good word, but again I had only 1 year experience, so I could not tell them that I've run the show and I know everything. So 1 year guy is pretty much like a fresher that he's going to be on the cost center, so देख के ले लो जो भी है. So at that point in time, we got lucky that we were the first ones to drop, and there were still bids in the market. But after that, like the subsequent layoffs that happened, because it didn't stop there, I think those colleagues and those people really found it more difficult to do the job search basically.
So where did you start? You started working with Nomura after that?
No, I started with Barclays with my boss. So we moved to Barclays.
So when did the Kida of starting something called as Gupta Brothers come to you? Because I think clearly it's inspired from Lehman Brothers.
Yeah.
That you started something called as Gupta Brothers. And first of all, who is the other Gupta in this entire story?
So the other Gupta is a very good friend, Rahul Gupta. So we went to the same batch in IIT and we did the same department. We are very good friends. When I moved to Barclays UK, a couple of years after, he joined Barclays UK, and he was on on the commodity side but on a different desk. And then we started the firm together in 2013. कीड़ा कहाँ से? कीड़ा तो बचपन से यार फैक्ट्री लगाने थे. So again, I think a lot of people ask me. I think it just came naturally to me कि I was absolutely certain कि यार काम तो अपना ही करेंगे. आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि इतना कॉर्पोरेट नौकरी छोड़ के अगर तुम्हें अपना काम करना है, राइट, तो दिस इज लावर डूइंग अ स्टार्टअप. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट इक्वलेंट टू डिसाइडिंग टू गेट मैरिड. ज़्यादा सोचोगे तो कभी नहीं कर पाओगे, ठीक है. देयर हैज़ टू बी राइट अमाउंट ऑफ थिंकिंग एंड यू जस्ट हैव टू जंप इनटू इट बेसिकली. तो हमारे साथ भी वही हुआ. आई थिंक वी स्पेंट अबाउट 3-6 months रियली काइंड ऑफ चेकिंग द थीसिस दैट वी हैव एन एज. मार्केट्स का अच्छा है यार, वो फीडबैक बहुत जल्दी दे देते हैं. मतलब यू जस्ट नो कि यू आर डूइंग द राइट थिंग एंड देयर आर वेरी फ्यू एक्सटर्नल contingencies, right? कोई client नहीं है, कोई sales नहीं चाहिए. So you have a machine in front of you, market चल रही है, सबके लिए same है. If you have an edge, तो it's kind of very quick and easy to find out that it works or not. Obviously, you have to be honest to yourself that it works or not. So yeah, I think everything kind of got together at that point, and I think biggest factor was we were very confident. When we left and after thoroughly checking 3 to 6 months of every stuff, I think we were very confident that we can pull it off. Touch wood, it work basically.
And what would you say is your edge? Why were you so confident that you all will make it work?
सब कुछ थोड़ी बताएंगे.
No, fair enough, but I mean, what is your philosophy with which you approach trading?
I think our biggest edge we feel is, again, in any trading, it's discipline, right? and we work on the risk reward concept that we will really trade if it's in our favor. So even my mom has asked me many times कि यार ये क्या कर रहे हो? Is this सट्टा ही है क्या? ये gambling ही है क्या? So I think it's again in trading. I always say even a monkey can make money, but it takes a lot of discipline to actually save that money and survive the storm. And once you survive the storm, it's anybody. Like you all are very smart. If you spend some time in any market, you will come up with a trade idea that will work. It's not very difficult. But then you have to do it again and again and again, and you have to find a repeated pattern for yourself that works. And on top of that, you have to lay a lot of discipline basically. So that I think that went well. We were very conservative because घर का पैसा लगा था. So that always helps, and I think we built from there.
In terms of knowing the risks of trading, right? Like people have gotten wiped off overnight. Maybe they didn't understand it so much, but given what had happened with the global financial crisis, was there ever any fear that यार ये मतलब तुम तो यार कल फोन करके बोलोगे कि अभी सब खत्म हो गया? ऐसा हुआ है लोगों के साथ?
So we didn't tell them कि trading करेंगे, मैंने कहा अपना काम शुरू कर रहे हैं. So that kind of resonated with them. They know everybody starts their own work. इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? And then I think we were disciplined about this also. We had decided कि this is the finite amount that we will lose, because इसमें obviously घर से भी पैसे जा सकते हैं. So we started off with a budget that we will follow this strictly, and if we run out of this cash, we will look for jobs again. मेरी wife यहीं बैठी. I don't know तब उसको ज़्यादा है, पर उस time she was very supportive. Even asked her, I think I asked her that, you know, please continue your job for some time till we figure it out. अभी मत छोड़ना बस. And she supported. Obviously उस time पे important था. She was in a good job. My friend's wife was in a good job. I think a lot of those factors came together. But yeah, we were very, very clear that this is to be done with very finite amount of time and money. वो stop loss लगा के किया था कि भाई एक time और money के बाद अगर ये नहीं चल रहा तो नहीं चल रहा भाई, फिर you know just do something else.
There's a massive increase in the number of traders in India over the last 2 years, especially since COVID. I mean, practically there was a time in India in 2021, 2022 where in every company 80% of the people were doing two jobs. One was their job and they're also trading at the side because everybody is working from home. And I'm sure a lot of people have lost money. Any advice, suggestion? How do you know that you are now just gambling and you don't have and that you're not really doing this with any? People feel कि हम intelligently पैसा लगा रहे हैं, पर बहुत सारे टाइम नहीं होता है ऐसा. तो how do you know the difference between the two?
I think difference तो रोज शाम को पता चलता है, पीने आ जाता है. I know a lot of people are trading and it's great. I think India, we are seeing a lot of talent coming out of India, and there are a lot of shops in India. You know, everybody seems to be doing options also, which is like kind of a even more leveraged product. I think advice वही है जो हमारा था कि यार don't lose beyond a certain money. That's it. And don't keep that stop loss to yourself. बीवी को दे दो, मम्मी को दे दो, पापा को दे दो, दोस्त को दे दो कि भाई send them the statements every day. The day you are down a certain amount, which is beyond your initial investment, जो तुमने सोचा था, क्योंकि everybody gets married to your position, right? कि भाई तुम्हें लगता है कि बस ये अब वापस आएगा, अब वापस आएगा, अब वापस आएगा, and some days it doesn't come out basically, right? And that is the time you want to put a stop loss there. So my advice to you is only कि जो करना है करो, पैसे हैं तो obviously तुम्हारी मर्जी है, जैसे मर्जी करो, but don't lose beyond a number. Have that rational number somewhere, which is always probably much before all in. And I think and if you can work with that amount of money and over time you accumulate. और दूसरी साइड पे छक्का मारने की कोशिश मत करो basically, right? It's a slow and steady accumulate, and on long run में वही चलेगा. That would be my advice, but obviously as with everything, people have done it with different strategies. So good luck to everybody basically.
I was never going to get a trader to tell people कि don't trade.
नहीं वो तो हम किसी को नहीं करते, वो तो मैं अपने 7 साल के बच्चे को भी नहीं बोलता.
So Amit, now coming to the other side, first of all, why did you move to Dubai from the UK? And secondly, why did you change the name from? We would have got a legendary Gupta Brothers, which would have been so uniquely Indian. Now you have like a English name to your company. Why did you do that?
I think Gupta Brothers के साथ we ran into some technical issues. Some of the overzealous risk and compliance guys started raising the query, यार ये दोनों founders की date of birth is less than 9 months apart. So I think Dubai, when we figured it out, it was better for all kind of business aspects. It has less regulation, there is no taxes, more friendly environment. Because we were private capital, we were hoping that there won't be a lot of regulation on us. And in Europe, there was a MiFID II coming, which was very, very overreaching. As with all regulations, they wanted to catch the Cargills of the world, but they were even like almost killing the small firms like us. UK was still part of Europe at that point, so MiFID would have applied there. And then this place had very little regulatory framework for if you're not raising external capital, and there was no tax. It was convenient. Cost of living was much lower here. The only reason I was mentioning was that UK is a much more robust economy. If you're looking for a job, UK is a great place. It has,
It's the most liquid market at that time.
it is the headquarters of pretty much Europe and for some corporations even the world, right? So a lot of job opportunities are there. So our wives were in their corporate careers, so that was a big concern that the careers in Dubai might not pan out. So then we had again as we work with life, that is the occupational hazard. We worked with the stop loss that if your careers don't pan out in 6 months to 12 months time, we will move back to UK. So it was because our business being proprietary trading in that thing, that gives us a lot of flexibility in what we can or where we can operate from. So we wanted to try it out. It would have been a good experiment. In hindsight, it was the best decision. It has worked out perfectly well, and couldn't be happier basically.
So Amit, now coming to your love for Indian startups, and when did that bug bite you, and you started investing in as an angel investor in many startups? So what has influenced that journey?
Yeah, I think started investing too late. But I think I love the Indian startups actually. So it's fascinating what people are building there. It's amazing that like a Flipkart was the first, and they are competing with Amazon, where Amazon can kind of their head office cost is spread around the world, and if Flipkart is just in India, they're still competing. Ola is giving it back to the Ubers. Again, as you say, right? It's as with IPL. So now there's big money and glamour there, right? So it obviously attracts a lot of people. And that to me is the biggest story that has happened to India. Now the best Indian talent is coming to India to solve Indian problems. So this has to be good in the long run, right? And some of the startups are really competing with the best in the world. There is no easy fruit out there. India is not like China that we've closed everything, and India is open. India is completely open, and our founders are fighting with the international players, and they are building products out of India which are competing head on, right? And I think with Shark Tank India, right? I don't know how many have you seen it, right? It's again bringing it to the living room, and you can see some of the fascinating stories, right? Every story of every founder is just amazing. He's fighting all odds. The rates of failure are very, very high, but people are now going for it because now you have the Flipkarts and the Zomatos of the world where you can see that this is big money. This is why every kid growing up, especially I'm still now, right? Why did every kid wanted to play cricket? Right? Because they've seen Dhoni, they've seen Sachin, they've seen Virat. They know there's big money, there's glamour, everybody knows it, and now kids wants to play it. So if this moves the needle, like if 5 or 10% of people in India, they want to do their own startups, they want to do their own businesses because they now find that the reward at the end of the day is worth it. I think there's nothing better than this, because an entrepreneur is the cheapest labor. He always works for free basically, right? So he's putting in effort. Whatever he's built will stay there. He might go down, but he's built some knowledge, he's built some product which somebody else will acquire for pretty much zero cost. So might not be fair to every founder. It's tough, obviously, right? 90% failure rate. But for the ecosystem, as a society, as a country, I think personally, I think there's no bigger boost than this.
Awesome. This has been amazing. I'm going to allow 3 questions from the audience. Anybody, please feel free to ask.
Can you throw some light on what do you consider most? I mean, what's your your edge is? Is it something technical, fundamental, or is it basically discipline in trading?
I think it's risk reward. The edge is risk reward. Does that make sense?
And does the price action and so-called patterns, do you consider that ever?
Yeah, for my own trading, obviously, yeah, I have to consider what I trade and how it trades, and there's a repeated pattern that I will play, right? But that is not going to be the same for any 2 people, right? It's Warren Buffett invests with like a 100-year horizon, and there are HFT guys who are doing it in nanoseconds, right? And both of them are making money. So it's not about a particular strategy or a particular pattern, right? In any market, you will find n number of players who are making money in the same market, trading different things. The thing for you is, do you have your core pattern which repeats itself often enough? And then you have to be disciplined about it. And some of the time, even with us, right, strategies over time will stop working. Not everything's going to work all the time. So you have to be at it. You have to find new patterns. You have to just reinvent yourself. and keep moving with it. So there's no point in getting static with a particular way of investing, right? And the end of the day, in markets is very simple. You get your P&L every day, right? Every day your broker tells you this is how much you're down or you're up. And if the overall numbers are not going in the right direction for a decent amount of time, just stop it for some time, figure it out. You can backtest anything in our world. So do the backtest, at least it should work in a backtest, and then you take it from there.
So you have been investing also in so much firms, but according to you, what is the biggest investment you have made for yourself in so many years and which bring you over here as a successful man?
I got married to the right girl.
And to a junior, what would you suggest apart from getting married to a right girl? What he should do so that he could go to the other part or the other side of the table?
Once you married the right girl, bhai, baki sorted hai, chinta mat karo. No, I think as Ankit is saying, right, I think you just need to invest in yourself, right? Yeah, dhanda bahut simple hai, right? If you're looking for career advice or you want to earn more money or you want to go up, you really have to add value at the end of the day, right? And the value is not sitting there 9 to 5 and doing some Excel work which anybody else could have done, right? So in that sense, you have to really train yourself, and whichever business situation you're in, you have to really figure out that what is the extra value that I'm adding. It is not anybody else's responsibility to train you, right? Nobody's going to hand you a post of an MD or a president like, oh sir, you have arrived, let's make you MD, right? You have to literally earn every step of the way, and the best way to do it every time is to add value wherever you're doing, right? It could be just your communication skills, right? If you are in a job which requires you to write emails or talk to clients, if you're really working hard on your communication skills, there are so much out there, that is adding value, right? Sooner people will know that, this guy has a different style of communication, he's making a difference. So you will start to go up in that chain. I always say play on your strength. Okay? It's like real world maybe, nobody's going to ask Bumrah to bat and Sachin to bowl. Okay? Like they should not play in the team if somebody is expecting Bumrah to bat, right? So play on your strengths. If you're good in marketing, focus on marketing, go deep in that. If you're good in sales, you feel you have natural passion, like Gigi has, like Gautam the previous session, right? He just said, I love making headlines, I wanted to be a CA. He's been that and it works. If you're good at it, that's the only thing that matters basically.
Awesome. Thank you guys.